So often, we've talked about this before, we adjust our theology based on our experience. That's what the Pharisees were trying to do. They were trying to understand God through the experience. Whereas actually, what we're called to do is not adjust our theology to fit our experience, but we want to see the experience fit the theology. For example, we believe it's always the will of God to heal, right? But then we don't see someone get healed. Therefore, we change our understanding of who God is. Oh, well, maybe it's not always the will of God to heal. And that's the kind of religious mindset. It's taking what we understand, what we've created, our paradigm that we have, and we're trying to squeeze God into that paradigm. Instead of saying it's always the will of God to heal and we don't understand why this healing hasn't happened, we take our experience and we say, well, okay, this is what we understand about God based on our experience. I don't want to be part of a house that allows its understanding of God to be formed by its experience. Why? Because we don't always get it right, clearly, as you saw at the start with the prophetic words. But I don't want to change my understanding of, oh, God, tells us to eagerly desire prophecy, and it's the birthright of every believer to hear the voice of God clearly. But clearly I got a bad word, or I didn't quite get it right, therefore I must change my understanding that maybe it isn't God's heart to speak to his children. Do you see what I mean? We can't, just because you got a bad word, it doesn't mean you're a false prophet. Does that make sense? Someone needs to hear that. Just because you got a bad word, it doesn't mean you're a false prophet. Just in the same way, because this healing doesn't match with what I understood about God previously, or just because this experience doesn't match with what I understood about God previously, I'm now going to change my understanding about who God is. And that's not what we're called to do. We're called to start, first and foremost, with the assumption that God is who he says he is. He always does what he says he does. He's faithful and true. He has no shadow of turning. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Therefore, if something doesn't fit my understanding, then clearly I need to adjust my understanding. Why? Because he's infinite. His ways are above our ways. His thoughts are above our thoughts. He's God. He can do pretty much whatever he likes. And he does regularly. And so I never want to be...